be freaking late. I'm not gonna be late, man. Please don't be late. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Woo! This is a great freaking Wednesday to be talking about transfers, but the preview will be after this. Well, actually, it won't be live, but it will be a good preview. Hopefully, it has a lot of content in it. Hopefully, there's a lot of value. And then the combined 11 with there's a lot of content coming up in the next 2 days here before the game on Friday. Bayern Munich take on Barcelona. But before this, Hansi Flick in a press conference demands more. Hansi wants more transfers. And you know what? You can't blame the guy. He wants 2 players per position. That's what he said, right? You have to have 2 good players. For me, I think Bayern Munich, if we have the ambition to want to win the UCL every single year, then you have to have a world-class player in one position, and then a top-class player, and then you can have your youngsters, your youth players in there. But Flick wants more from that Bayern Munich board. Rightfully so. I don't care about the ramifications of the pandemic. Every single club lost money. We're not some unique case. Players will be cheaper. But this thing with Bayern and not trying to do something in this market and trying to at least take advantage of this is a little bit damaging. I mean, someone said, I think it wasn't out of Bayern, but someone just said in general, someone that's well known in football, I don't know who they are, but they said the bigger the club, the more hits they took, which makes sense. Right, because if you're Bayern Munich, you're going to be, making less money than Nuremberg, for example. And that's just how it is. That's a fact. I'm not debating that, but there is still money made. Bayern have millions of fans around the world. We're one of the biggest clubs and most supported clubs in the world. We ain't broke, okay? We didn't come out of this pandemic like negative 2 million. I don't even think we lost money that much. We didn't make any money, right? But then our expenditures also went down. So it's almost like we just made less money. It's like a business, right? You can make 2 million profit and then the next year you just don't make any profit. That's pretty much what happened this year. And it's not like we use our profits to get transfers anyway. So when people tell me, George, the pandemic, I understand and I agree the pandemic is terrible. But it didn't necessarily hinder our ability to spend money, because our ability to spend money isn't really defined by how we actually do business. I don't think we make money to then spend it. We rarely buy players over 40 million anyways. And I just think that, you know what, Flick demanding more is amazingly important. People like Niko Kovac. Kovac would have probably been just fine with getting his Rebic's, right? With Vox and all these weird ballers, these crazy, terrible players that he wanted to sign for us. We would have been in the relegation zone in the Europa League if he signed the players he wanted for us. Kovac wanted players. We gave him the players. Even better, we gave him the likes of Lucas Hernandez's and Pavard's. We gave Kovac a lot of good players. And then Hansi Flick is coming in, changed the fortunes of our season. He's probably just on course to win a Champions League. Hopefully we do. If he does that, you have to give Hansi Flick every single thing he's asking for. Give Hansi Flick a piece of paper. He can write as many players' names as he wants on it, and that board has to act. Because it's been a long time, every single season. It's never in the transfer window. You know what Bayern are? Bayern are that guy that keeps talking about what they're going to do. Oh, man, yeah, when I get there, I'm going to do this, bro. When I start my business, I'm going to make this much money. Yabba, 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 jibba, yabba, yabba. That's what Bayern are. But then when the transfer window comes, I'll just pretend it's not here. That's what happens with Bayern. We forget the window's open to take advantage of, and we never ever do it. And I just think you got to put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to say you want to do something, if you're going to say you want to compete and win the Champions League every year, you know what? People are going to hear that and say, well, George wants us to win the Champions League every year. Yes, I do. Yes. Precisely. You're right. I do want us to win the Champions League every year. And so does that board. They want us to compete. They want us to be on top of global football. They want us to be a global brand. And in order to maintain that status, we can't keep getting embarrassed in the Champions League every semi-final because we don't want to spend money to strengthen the squad and add squad depth. We can't just be relying on Bayern too. Of course, they play for Bayern as well, but they don't play for Bayern like that. You know what? A lot of people, I get it. You see these young players and you're like, oh, Oliver Batista Maya, Leon Dejaku, I'm guilty of doing that because I think of these players in my head and I watch their highlights and I watch some of their games and I'm like, bro, you're so good. How did you do that? I guarantee you this, and this isn't me saying anything to make you feel all scared and anything like that. Maybe a maximum of 3 players out of this generation of new young players are going to make it at Bayern and be in the first team. And that's kind of how it works. This youth thing at Bayern isn't us. We're not a youth, we're not that club. We're not Dortmund where we buy a few experienced players, but our main focus and our core of our team is our young players. We don't have that. People are seeing this Alphonso Davies and thinking that's going to happen with Jamal Musiala. That's going to happen with Oliver Batista Mai. It won't. That's rarely an occasion. Alphonso Davies isn't even that much of a Bayern youngster. He came in here when he was 17 2 years ago, and he started slowly getting minutes. But we're not doing that route. Well, you've never been that club. We're a club that want to win the Champions League or at least compete for it to the maximum potential that we have. And in order to do so, we can't say, Champions League knockout. Oliver Batista Maya is our 4th choice winger. There's 2 positions for wingers. Left wing, right wing. 2 starters. Now Oliver Batista Mai, who's your 4th choice, is now only 1 injury away from potentially starting. Only 2 injuries away. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to say this young player is going to be our backup this. Because you're basically saying in your head that they're going to start 15 games. That's what you're saying. Perisic has started at least 20 games in his Bayern career this season. He's supposedly our 4th choice. But you're saying Oliver Batista Maya will be playing 15 games a season? Oh my goodness. I don't think you fully comprehend what that means. It means that if we're going to a Champions League game, he could be our starter. And people are putting too much pressure on these young players. And I understand they're good. I understand they have talent. They wouldn't be a Bayern if they didn't have any talent. In fact, 1 to 11, all our young players have talent. They have ability. But maybe a maximum of 3 in their generation, which consists of 20 plus players, 3 a maximum will make it at Bayern in the first team. And that's just how things are. You won't get young players. Here I'll put it into perspective for some people because no one, could understand what I'm talking about. But at Borussia Dortmund, actually no, let's use Frankfurt. Yeah, at Frankfurt, being a young player and coming through and having potential is a lot more different than being a young player at Bayern Munich. Because at Frankfurt, you get the chance. You can actually fight to be in the first team. Whereas at Bayern, if you're a striker, Zirkzee, you have to play it. You're going to struggle to get even 2 minutes off of Robert Lewandowski, who wants to play every single game when he's fit, who's scoring and assisting. Every time Lewandowski scores, you want to celebrate, but then you're like, dang, my career's even more delayed now for more weeks because Lewandowski keeps scoring. That's how it is. You'll probably want Lewandowski to pick up a few yellow cards so he can get suspended, just so you can pick up minutes. Because that's just how it is for Bayern. That's the reality here. We have players that are too good in their positions, and unless these young players start going out on some loans, I don't think that we can rely on them right now. I do think, however, we need to give them chances, but they have to earn it and it has to be deserving. We can't just throw them in and say, you're a backup winger now. It doesn't work. Hansi Flick wanting more is very important because he's a manager that doesn't look to be taking the yes from Bayern. When he was getting linked to the full-time job and the full-time contract, I was hearing a lot of stories about him wanting veto power over transfers. Very, very good sign of a competent manager right there. He won't be bullied into saying yes, as the British would say. He's not a yes man. Yeah, he's not. He's not going to just be saying yes to the Bayern board just because he played for Bayern in his career and he likes the board. No. If Flick wants players, we have to give him players. And I put Kai Havertz in there because, not because we're going to sign him, but it's because Hansi Flick wanted Kai Havertz. And that's the reality. That's the sad reality. Flick wanted Havertz. We know for sure. Flick also wanted Upamecano. I know that for a fact too. Christian Falk went on an interview and said it, that Hansi Flick wanted Upamecano, and Bayern were this close to signing Upamecano, but the fee was the problem. Bayern wanted to lower it down to a significant amount. Leipzig said, nah, we're not lowering it. And Upamecano stayed at Leipzig, but Hansi Flick for sure wanted Upamecano. Flick has a system he wants to play. If Flick sees Kai Havertz as a perfect fit to his system, then that Bayern board has to act. That's what backing your manager is. And then people have been bringing up very good excuses to me that, hey, pandemic, we can't spend money. And I actually really love how you say that with your chest. Were we actually going to spend that money if you bar the pandemic? Not really. You can't say that for a fact because we rarely want to spend money anyways. We were going to buy Sané and you can say that, okay, I agree with you. We would have spent money on Kai Havertz if the pandemic hadn't hit. But do you think Bayern Munich are broke? No, Bayern aren't broke. We're back to playing. We're back to generating record revenue. We're back to this. Football's back. I don't think there's any going back to this. There's no going back to lockdown where players don't play for months. This is over. Not the pandemic, of course. And of course, football is less than the pandemic, but there's thousands of jobs that this sport provides. And if people are saying, the football is less than... No, this job is providing, thousands upon thousands of people actual jobs in their lives. They have to play, man, and entertain us, okay? But if you look at this sport, it's back. Everything is back. Fans are getting linked to getting back into the stadium. Let's say a rise in cases happens with fans. They might say, hey, fans, you can't come into the stadiums. The teams will just play behind closed doors and follow the procedures that they've been following. But things are starting to really happen, and you can't keep using this pandemic excuse because we're not in that phase anymore. Of course, Bayern's still losing money without any fans in the stadiums, but that's not our main revenue producer, is it? It's not. We might make, close to 80 million a year on just the fans in the stadiums, but I don't think that's our main revenue producer. That would be the merchandise, that would be the various things. Alphonso Davies is in the top 5 for shirt sales. We're making money from so many other volumes. We are a business and also a club, and we have to realize that. So in order for me to really believe that we want to win the Champions League, we want to back our manager, we have to start giving our manager some of these players and go beyond to do it. I like Tolisso, but he has to step up to succeed Thiago. No, I mean, there is a talk that Tolisso will be the new Thiago, essentially, and we hope that Tolisso can be good. But, we never know. We need another striker behind Lewandowski and Müller. I agree, we need another striker. If that's going to be Xerxes, then okay, good for him. But you know what? Yeah, our main income is sponsorships. And do you think T-Mobile didn't make more money, or Telekom, as they call it in Germany? You don't think they made more money with Bayern returning and these astronomical numbers for viewerships in the Bundesliga? Bayern had to have made more money, and that's the facts. Bayern had to have gotten more global recognition. So many Bundesliga clubs now are getting watched. I'm having friends that I felt like didn't know anything about this club, and now they're watching it, and it's just the interesting side of those things. They know players that I'm like, how did you know him? You never watched him. But Bayern Munich aren't broke. People are saying it like, we got affected by the pandemic. Of course we did, but we're not broke. You can't say, let's look at Real Madrid's situation and let's look at Barcelona's situation and let's compare their situation to ours. Therefore, we can't spend money. First of all, Barcelona are in a situation where they ain't got no money, first of all. They're in astronomical debt. We are not in any debt whatsoever. Real Madrid spent 400 million last summer. Hazard, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. Madrid spent real money last summer, bringing in some big targets. And we're comparing ourselves to Real Madrid as to why we can't spend money. I don't know. Haaland said he's going to win the league with Dortmund. Well, Dortmund are looking good. If Dortmund can keep Sancho, I think Dortmund are going to... I don't know. Dortmund could have won the league in 2019, but we know what happens with Dortmund. They capitulate. They start dropping points where they shouldn't be dropping points. I like Bayern to win the league every single year. I don't want to feel sorry for saying that. I'd like us to win the league every single year. But I don't want it to be under the circumstances of Dortmund dropping points for no reason. I want it to be because we were just flat out better. We weren't better in 2019 than Dortmund. Dortmund were a better team in 2019. But we won the league because they dropped points where they shouldn't have dropped points. That's just the unnecessary fact. And we have to look at that. I mean, I hope Dortmund can come back and really compete. And that's it. The league... people call it I can't stand this Farmers League word. It's just so stupid because the Bundesliga in the season is a Farmers League, but in the transfer window it turns into the freaking Lamborghini dealership. I don't know. I wish Havertz stays at Leverkusen in the next year. That's not going to happen, is it? Do you think Bayern can beat Barca? That's a dull question to ask me. You already know what I think, Martin. Are you doing a watch along for Atalanta versus PSG? Well, that's if everyone wants it. I will do it. But look, Flick wanting more signings is very important. We have to do it. We have to do it for the manager. Zidane went back to Real Madrid, didn't he? And he got Hazard. He got Militao. He got Mendy. Zidane got almost 200 million going back to Real Madrid. And we're talking about not backing Hansi Flick, who, first of all, earned his stripes. Flick was an interim manager. Flick wasn't supposed to actually turn out this good. Well, he did. He changed so many problems and he changed our fortunes. Tactically, we look like the best team in the world. I don't know. If you look at Hansi Flick, he has earned his way. And people talk about money. Money isn't everything in transfers. Do you know the amount of ways you could finance a transfer? You could say, hey, Leverkusen, we'll give you 50 million now, and then in the next 2 years, we'll give you installments of 20 million. Okay, hey, Leverkusen, we'll give you 75 million now, but then here are a few add-ons. If Kai Havertz scores 10 goals plus in his first season for Bayern, we'll give you 2.5 million. If he gets 10 assists, we'll give you 2.5 million. If he gets 5 goals, actually, if he gets 3 goals and 3 assists, if he gets 5 goal contributions in his first 6 Champions League games for Bayern, we'll give you another 2.5 million. There's so many ways you could finance a deal like that. There's a billion ways you could finance that deal, man. We could just turn into Mauricio Sarri. We could just turn into bankers. Because you don't know the amount of ways you could finance a deal. We could add installments. We could say, hey, Leverkusen, we'll buy him from you for 100 million. But you'll pay us out of our 100 million, 20 million, and we'll keep him at your place for 1 more year. That's how it could happen. We could say, hey, Leverkusen, we know you like Havertz. We want him to develop so Thomas Muller can really get his play time. But then next year, we want Havertz in our team so he can get the play time that he would deserve and warrant. How about this, Leverkusen? We will give you 90 million, and then you can have Kai Havertz until next year. You won't pay us anything. 90 million. You don't think Leverkusen would say yes? And it's just ways you could finance this Havertz thing. Daniel X, I feel you, bro. There is a way to finance, but it isn't feeling like it isn't Mia San Mia like greetings from Munich. Well, yeah, it is true. I just want Hansi Flick back because this is probably the first manager that I'm gonna actually want to defend. Not defend it. You know what I mean? It's like managers at Bayern. Jupp Heynckes got Javi Martinez for 40 million. Why can't we give Hansi Flick, at the time, 40 million? He also got 35 million for Manuel Neuer. Jupp Heynckes got back. That's why he won the Champions League. But then Hansi Flick actually came in, interim manager, earned his stripes, earned his ability to be backed. But then now Bayern don't want to do it. That's a little bit skeptical to me. And you can't say you want to win the UCL every year and then go in and cut your arm off before the UCL campaign starts, because you're cutting your arm off by not making sure that you have enough depth to compete. Okay, what if Sané gets injured for a month and a half? I don't think Sané is going to pick up like a career-ending injury again, like an ACL. He looks like he's staying fit and he's all right, and he's going to be a big part for us next season. What if he gets injured for 2 weeks in March? That's a Champions League month. It's very important. What if he's out for a round of 16 game or a quarterfinal and it's a big match? What are we going to do then? Coman? Jesus, goodness gracious. Coman, I don't know. Kingsley Coman has this next season, and if he doesn't do anything, he's out. Because Gnabry costed us. No one's thinking about this. People keep talking about how Serge Gnabry, he might go missing for the smaller games. He only shows up for the big games. And it's somewhat to an extent true. But people don't compare Coman to Gnabry. I think Gnabry, how old is Serge Gnabry? I think Gnabry and Coman are pretty much... Gnabry's 25. Kingsley Coman is 23 years old. No, Coman is 24 years old. People keep talking about Coman's still young. He's still young. What young? He's not young. He's 24. If you're 24 in the modern day, you're not young. You should be in your prime. You should be starting to be in your prime. Salah was in his prime at 25. Mane, 26. You should start getting into your prime. Mbappe. You have players like Kai Havertz pretty much out. Coman. You're telling me if Sané's injured, we're bringing in Coman? Leroy Sané himself is 24 years old. Sané is younger than Kingsley Coman, I just realized. Sané, actually, he's older. No, Sané is younger. No, he was born before Coman. Yeah. Sané is older by a few months. A few months older than Kingsley Coman. And you're telling me Kingsley Coman is our backup winger at 24, and he still can't decide in the final third if he wants to have a good cross or not. And you're telling me that's our backup winger? Gnabry came in here. We bought him in 2017 from, was it Werder Bremen? And then he went on loan to Hoffenheim the next year. Gnabry joined us in 2018, really, after his loan. 10 million, Serge Gnabry, now a first teamer. Got his opportunity to start games. He broke his way into the first team. Had a breakthrough season. Kingsley Coman has been here since 2015. What has Coman done since 2015? You want to bring up, he had a good game versus Juventus. He had a nice little purple patch under your pancakes in his second. No. Please, what are people seeing in Coman that I don't see yet? I hope I start seeing stuff, because it's been 5 years, almost 6 years this next season, and I still don't know he can't really cross. His decision making is piss poor in the final third. He can dribble. He constantly gets injured too, and you're telling me that's our third choice winger, and we don't have a second choice or fourth choice winger. That's very concerning, because even Coman, if you're telling me Oliver Batista Maya can't get in the team ahead of Coman, how is he going to be our fourth choice when Coman isn't even good enough to be our third choice? Look, I might. Coman is the only one who tries to get past opponents. I mean, that's not a goal or an assist, is it? You know, he can get past all the opponents he wants. At the end of the day, a goal is what matters, or an assist. He can't get any of them. He struggles. It's his decision making. But not only that, it's when he's frustrating to watch, because it's almost like he plays with his head down. I don't know what it is. He plays with his head down. When you watch Sané, go watch highlights of Sané when he's dribbling. His head is always up. It's like the ball, he looks down for a few seconds, and then he's always looking up. That's it. That's what makes Sané so good. He looks up. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't just dribble to dribble. Like, he takes the ball to the byline, but then he knows what to do. He knows where he wants the ball to go. And right foot, left foot, it might be low quality. He might not always pull it off, but when he does, it looks amazing, Leroy Sané. And he always pulls it off a lot more times than not, because he knows what he wants to do with the ball. Kingsley Coman still can't decide whether he wants to keep dribbling. And when he dribbles, sometimes he dribbles for no reason. Sometimes I just want him to lay the ball off, try and run in behind. That's how Gnabry plays. And of course, you can bring Ribéry. Now, Coman's not Ribéry. Ribéry dribbled for a reason. Frank would have this cold feet. He'd get through 3 players. Well, Alex with another. Alex might just be the super chat legend, but he didn't say a message. So, have you ever played? I won't say that S word, man. I can't say the S word. You know us. Have you ever played soccer? No, I've never played it. The fact is, he's low on confidence. You can only be low on confidence for so long, right? Well, thank you so much, Alex, for the super chat. It's freaking amazing. Let's just say that. I think Coman will be better next season. We said that last season and the season before and the season before. It gets to a point where we have to stop being a charity. We're a club. At the end of the day, we're a club. We're not a charity. If a player isn't playing well, we have to decide for ourselves that, hey, this might not be him. You look at Neymar. People always compare Coman to like Mbappe. Mbappe makes decisions quick in the final third. And that's the thing. When you play at Bayern, you don't get 3 seconds to think. players can look good at Hoffenheim and these clubs because, they play slower. And at Bayern Munich, where you're in the Champions League, teams want to beat you. And you're thinking about what you're going to do for 3 seconds before you do it. Ferran Torres would have been fantastic. I don't know. Is there a chance that Havertz might join us? I mean, Havertz will join Bayern Munich over Chelsea if Bayern Munich go in for Havertz, but we won't. And that's the situation. And we have to deal with it. And it's just fine. We have to smile and cry at the same time. Perisic or Coman against Barcelona. I'd rather just go with Perisic. I know people are telling me Coman's a threat, but he does what he wants. Perisic, you're telling me Ivan Perisic came in and is outperforming. Why is my VPN in Germany? Goodness gracious. Why is my VPN in Germany? I was watching the Dortmund friendly. Okay, that makes sense. George, views on the Spanish media changing every statement. I don't care. What matters is what happens on the pitch. I rather care what the Barcelona fans that watch the channel think, because I actually care about their opinions. Start Ivan Coman super sub. A super sub has to be super something, Alex. I don't see him super at many things. I see a player that still lacks confidence all the time. I see a player that doesn't know what he wants to do in the final third. I see a player that has the talent and ability to take people on and do something special. But with Coman, he's so frustrating because I want him to do it. I want him to keep proving me wrong, but he just never does it. I'm better than Boateng. Nah, Boateng is amazing. He's been great this season. Jadon Sancho ain't coming to United after United. I mean, look, I'm happy. Sancho staying. It just makes the league better. I mean, look, it's basically like the Premier League fans getting salty that Sane left for Bayern. And it's you just like certain players consistently staying. Can I get mod? You'll get mod when we get 1 billion. David Laren, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know why it's not popping up. We'll get it soon, right? We'll get it to pop up soon. Thiago is not going anywhere. Well, can you guys start doing this, right? I don't just want you to super chat. That's a great way to support the channel, but I kind of want you to say something so I can read it and we can talk about it. And, so Thomas Muller's more excited. I just, if you want to support the stream, and that's absolutely amazing. I love you all. But just say something, or you can write something in there, and that would help me just feel better about that, because I'm not really the GoFundMe type person. I wouldn't post it. I'd rather just be homeless than post a GoFundMe. Bayern is right about Dortmund. They buy cheap young players and sell them expensive. Well, that's true. At Dortmund, you're bought to be, sold for profit. At Bayern, you're bought to be a legend, and that's the difference. I think he has lack of confidence because he's scared to get injured. If he's scared to get injured, he better look at his injury record, because he gets the injuries anyways. So, that's like me. I don't know. I don't know. That's like me. That's like a girl asking me out, and I'm scared to go out on a date with her. It's like she already asked me out. That didn't make any sense. It didn't. It thought I worked in my head, but it didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I thought I was funny there. Okay, in my head, what I was gonna say was I don't think of this before. I just say it. I just say it. Look, it's an opportunity for Coman here in the Champions League. Apparently, Toliso's staying, which is good. Javi Martinez is leaving. I really want. People think I want players to leave and get sold. No, I want them all to prove me wrong so I can sit here and look stupid and be happy that they're scoring and assisting and tackling and doing what I thought they weren't going to do. I want that to be the case, but it's almost like it's impossible for me. It's impossible for me to keep thinking Coman will do something special, but then he never does it. Well, I want him to, but he never does it. Alex, I don't know what to say. I like the content. Well, I appreciate your support. It's freaking amazing. And I mean, what would you say in a normal comment so I can read it? And I'm sure everyone would be happier, right? After beating Barca, which team would you like to face? Man City. I don't want to play Lyon. I'm sorry. Like, I'd rather us lose to City than Lyon. Yeah. Lyon are just boring. Like, I want to play De Bruyne. I want to play these types of players. Because at the end of the day, the sport is about the beautiful things. You watch continental, amazing. You watch players like De Bruyne versus Davies. Those clashes make sense. I didn't want to play Napoli. I don't find the excitement in that. You see how hyped we are to play Barcelona. You see the media and everything happening. The attention. I love attention. I love it when Bayern are getting attention from pundits, even though I don't care about their opinions. I love it because that's what it's about. I don't want to play Napoli. I don't want to play Lyon. Just because it's easy, I don't want to. I want to play good teams, you know? Coutinho plays like a second striker while Muller plays an attacking midfielder, DM, and he doesn't hold up the ball. I don't know what you mean by Muller doesn't hold up the ball. What do you mean? Coutinho holds up the ball when he loses the ball about every single 5 seconds trying to make 10 dribbles and never completes them. Would you want PSG? Nah, I've been thinking, so many people have been hyping up this Atalanta team. Now I'm like, I want Atalanta. So many people are getting me. Like, now I'm like, Atalanta can do it. They can do it. But they're not going to do it. Mbappe, Neymar. I mean, in my head, it makes sense why PSG would just win. But it's football. Anything can happen. But Atalanta look like the better team in terms of just their system. Tuchel will get sacked at the end of the season if he doesn't win the Champions League for PSG because he's been there for 3 years. That's just the reality of it. And PSG, isn't it crazy that PSG just spent, and Man City spent so much money just to win the UCL, just to go get dumped out. You know what? It just shows you can't buy passion. You can't buy moments. You can't do it. I swear, you guys in these names are getting crazier. Chinese boy. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Jinx Protector. I don't know why people say Jinx Protector anymore. It just doesn't make any sense. With Sane, I would be so confident in the UCL. FFS. I mean, well, are you not confident now? You know, unless you're a City fan, then you would be confident in your team, right? With Sane in it. But I don't think you should lose confidence because we don't have Sane. If anything, you should just gain more confidence that if we win the UCL and manage to do it, we add Sane to this team. And that could be the team that breaks, Real Madrid's record of 5 in a row. And that would... how did they win 5 UCLs? That's every time I think about it, I get irritated. 5 in a row. Like, they're literally the kings of the UCL. They started... Guess what? They're going to be back next year with Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. They're going to sell Jovic, and then they're going to buy Haaland in 2023. Well, what is it? You guys in these names are getting weirder and weirder, man. I swear. Well, actually, that's Basuga, isn't it? Why did you change it, man? I love Basuga. Basuga was an amazing name. George to Bayern in 2020. Might as well. Put me in there. I used to be a winger. The thing with me is, what's your favorite Bayern chant / sing? Don't worry, I'll sing if we win the UCL. I got songs. Don't worry, I got songs lined up. Oh, I have songs lined up. Stick with Flick, that's a good song, right? It's called Stick with Flick. We've conquered all of Europe, Bayern edition. It's gonna be crazy, and it's just good. I'm a Justin Bieber right here. No, I will sing. I will sing if Bayern Munich win the if we do, of course. George Goretzka. See, I would make if I could describe my play style, it would be Ronaldinho in the midfield, because I try so many flicks. I try things. Give a demo. I can't do that just yet. And let's talk about 6. Ooh, I'll make it Bayern. All the things. Let's talk about 6. Okay. Man City / PSG. Oil Money FC. There, that's just a sad scenario with both those clubs. I just think it's sad. Super Hansi, super. No. That's a little bit. I like the Super Bayern chant. Don't change it for anyone. George Flick. Really? Okay. You rate Coutinho 1 year at Paula. I can't read that. I don't rate Coutinho. I'm looking for reasons to have us keep Thiago. He isn't staying, and I don't really care if he stays or not. He's crap anyways. But I'm just looking for reasons why Thiago could stay. And who do you think is winning the Europa League? Well, this just turned into a Q&A very quickly. Instead of a Hansi Flick transfer video. I don't know. I don't care about the Europa. Franz Beckenbauer called it the Losers Cup. I mean, that song must demotivate the players because it is such a stupid... Europa League is the most irritatingly boring competition out there. I'd rather just not win a trophy than be in the Europa League winning it. Nah. Yeah. Nah. I mean, speaking of, just Europe in general... Bayern Munich have outlined a plan to dominate Europe. And therefore, for me, we have to continuously put in the proper investments that can get us over that line. And that's just how it is. If we lose, I'm unsubscribing. You know what? If we lose, I'm deleting this channel. Well, that's how confident I am that we could win. If we, you know what? I just feel like if we lose this game versus Barcelona, it won't be down to Barcelona being better than us. It will just be down to us being crappier. That's just how I see it. Sevilla going to win. I wanted Kai to get Europa League. Why? Why would I care? In fact, if anything, I'd want him to never taste silverware so he knows what it's like to play for Chelsea. Already. Yeah. Because he won't win anything at Chelsea. I guarantee you this. Frank Lampard will be sacked at Chelsea. I think, of course, I rate Lampard, but I just feel like Chelsea's board in the middle of it would be like, Lampard... You're not winning anything. Sacked. Next season, he'll get all these players, and if he doesn't win a trophy, or challenge for the Premier League, or win any trophy, he'll be sacked. And that's just a sad reality of Chelsea. But yeah, look, Davies. I think everyone watched that. Please, consider how I feel, because I wake up at 7 a.m. I know it's like summer, right? I wake up at 7 a.m. because I got things to take care of in the morning. But I wake up 7 a.m. and you're telling me that the first thing I want to open my phone and check is that Alphonso Davies is injured. So quit commenting these things to me. Someone made me want to have a heart attack. Now I woke up and I checked because I always read the comments. And then I read Alphonso Davies is injured. I'm really scared. I'm like, damn, no way, don't do it. No, don't do it. And then I find out it's just him joking. Well, not joking. It's just he's just getting rested for a day because he had an thing with his thigh. Abductor. Yeah, I don't know. What is abductor? I don't really know what it is. I'm not that smart. But yeah, well, look, we're towards the end of the stream. Where am I from? Well, desde de Mexico. Yeah, I'm from Mexico. Dortmund will never be successful under Faber. I believe that too. Groin strain. Thank you, Martin Hideker. I mean, you're probably a doctor. That's why you're saying. I don't know what a groin is. I don't even know where my groin is. I don't know. I don't know anything about my body. I couldn't name you more than 2 bones in my body. Or kneecaps bones? Well, they are, right? And then my kneecaps and my skull. Those are my bones. Well, my skull is made up of other. My tibia is a bone, right? And my hamstring. Hamstring is like the... if you eat chicken, it's like the chick. Yeah, that's your ham. That's what I imagine that my hamstring would be. Like if someone was eating me, first of all, it'd be delicious. But my hamstring would be, that part. Davies will be fine. We'll be playing this Friday. I mean, that's true from Kim there. Getting these heart attacks out. I almost had a heart attack just reading that. He would have been maybe out of the game. Your favorite American player of all time? Well, it has to be Tim Howard for me. I think he's goated, in my opinion, in my eyes. Listen to George in playback speed 2. What do I sound like? I bet you I sound like Alvin the Chipmunk. Alvin the Chipmunks. Okay. I do think... I think Lampard has. But if he doesn't win a trophy, man, Kai is too good for Chelsea. You know what? DJ Sav just came in, so we won't talk any crap about Chelsea. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching. Leave a like on the video. I appreciate all the topic things, and it's been a chill day, hasn't it? Hansi Flick demanding more from Bayern, and I think I agree. Flick deserves more, not just because he won us, trophies, but because he has us playing and he has the atmosphere right. We're favorites for the UCL. If we win the Champions League, I'm expecting Flick to be getting like the entire Real Madrid team. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia San Mia, and peace.